Let's go.
Little.
Here we go. Gotcha.
It's over.
Hey.
Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. Great.
Did you need something?
I'll cut to the chase. We're here to take your machine.
Pity. I thought you were smarter than that.
Oh, but I am. In fact, I'm always right about everything.
I expected so little of you, and yet you still come up short.
Your plan is sick, and I won't let you use this system for it. I'm going to use it to save this boy's life.
Now that is disappointing. If nothing else, I believed you were at least a woman of logic and reason. But here you are, about to sacrifice your future for that brat.
This isn't a sacrifice. It's an investment in a whole other future, a brighter one.
I see.
But there is one thing I still don't understand, and that's why you let the synthesters loose in Akiba specifically. Why here? Why make this town into your dark utopia over any other?
We're an ancient race, we Night Eaters, descended from the gods themselves. Long ago we existed as Earth deities, and the piety of our human subjects was all we needed to sustain ourselves. And it was a simple task to remain pious, as it required nothing more than respect for nature. We were a part of nature after all. So in return for that respect, we watched over the people of this land, guarding their civilization. But now, take a look around. All people cling to in this day and age is their own selfish greed. Nature has been all but forgotten as these gluttonous fools live their lives in sole pursuit of meaningless desire.
An unfortunate side effect of progress. Nature gives us food and light, but also disease and limitations. We use science and medicine to harness the good and expel the bad.
Which proves my point. Your people's advances brought with them a sense of entitlement, a soft self-conceit, blighting mankind worse than any natural sickness. But this town is different. Akihabara's particular brand of lust and desire is entirely unique.
Oh? And how's that exactly?
Theft, corruption, deception. These are wants which go against man's natural instincts. They are foul and disgusting. But here, those festering desires are ignored, and in their place is unadulterated lust, but a pure lust, new and untarnished. Here, pilgrims offer their devotion, laying down their livelihoods for animation, for games, for songmakers. A new form of piety has flourished within these streets, in reverence to an entirely new sort of god.
That's ludicrous.
No, it's the truth, and I can prove it. The energy I've collected from the people in this town has been inordinately fine and pure. These people have remained chaste in service to their view of the world. Akiba is utterly awash in unspoiled virginity, and their hymns of praise shall echo through the streets of my dark utopia forever. That is the purpose I have been given. Now, perhaps we two understand one another. But what of you, boy? What makes your life, this life, so worth fighting for that you would condemn the Night Eater's future in order to prolong it? Very well. This is to be a war for survival, then. It's you or the Night Eaters. And I intend to win.
No! What's happening?
I told you before, the Rosary's purpose is to keep your Night Eater side under control. In other words, to seal it away.
Fight it. Come on!
You'll find you can no longer move. What a miserable fate. And you are powerless to fight it. Farewell, boy. Here we go!
Oh, no, you don't!
How noble, putting yourself in harm's way for your little toy.
If I can just get these beads off. It'll be all right. I'll save you. You should be able to move now. Don't concern yourself with me. We're so close. Just a little further. I believe in you.
Pitiful child, playing with forces he cannot comprehend. Face me now. If you think you can carve a new destiny for yourself, then prove it! Here we go!
Did you do it?
No, this can't be. I've been taken down by raw power. Perhaps it's my fate to be ousted by a superior force. Truly, you are stronger than I ever imagined.
So, we won then. Which means we get to make use of your machine.
Do whatever you want. I'm through. Finished. I return now to the darkness from whence I came. Though I can't imagine what use it could be to you now.
I'm going to use it to remake him. To make him a human being again.
Ha! What a preposterous notion.
It's all right. Even if the odds are stacked against me, I'm gonna make it work. Just you watch.
As you wish. Try with all your might. Farewell.
All right. I can do this myself if I need to, but with these injuries, I certainly wouldn't say no to some assistance. I suppose I don't have much choice. I'll give him a call. Hello? Yes, it's been some time, hasn't it? Well, not quite that long, I suppose. No, don't hang up. Don't hang up. I sent you an email, and I was wondering if I might be able to count on you to bring me those parts I listed. Why? Well, so you'll do it then. Well, that's all I could ask for. I'll be waiting. Ta-ta! Perfect. Everything should be taken care of. Now we play the waiting game. Oh, I'll be fine. This is nothing. Ah, he's here. He's here.
Who do you think I am? Asking me to do this for you?
Thank you so much, Sakaguchi.
Yes, Miss Kasugai. Ma'am.
Oh, come now. Don't you think you're overdoing it just a tad? That's not important right now. What is important is getting everything ready. Our first order of business is to use this system to rid your body of both its Night Eater and Synthister blood. And more importantly, replace it with ordinary human blood. Piece of cake, really, thanks to modern medicine. Even if it weren't, I'd do whatever it took to save you. Well, I had a younger cousin. The Daishihan in Daishihan Pharmaceuticals is his family, and we Kasugais are an offshoot of that line. The Kasugai family has been practicing medicine for generations now, and the Daishihan family has been in pharmacology as far back as anyone can remember. Two lineages, two separate yet related fields of study. But the Kasugais and the Daishihans were not exactly on the best of terms with one another. Still, my cousin and I were close to the same age and quickly came to regard one another as brother and sister. And we decided one day that we wouldn't let the divide between our families keep us from working together and saving lives. That's the short version anyway. Only, he died before he had a chance to see that dream realized. He was sent abroad by his overzealous parents trying to show up our side of the family, and he had a mental breakdown. I didn't even know what was going on at the time because I was so busy with my research. I was working on my thesis at graduate school. He sent me a letter, but it got lost in the shuffle. I never even saw it. I feel like I could have saved him if I'd only made a little time to get involved. And I suppose my guilty conscience got the best of me, because I eventually decided to take a job at Daishihan Pharmaceuticals in his place, so I could save the lives he wasn't able to. Then I became CEO, by pure chance, essentially. And that's when I learned of the Synthisters, whose victims suffered mental breakdowns that seemed all too familiar to me. No medication seemed to help them, but that didn't mean no treatment could ever exist. So I resolved to find the root of the problem, and I investigated like never before, but to no avail. It seemed they, too, were beyond saving. And just when things looked their bleakest, I happened to hear about you. It sounds utterly ridiculous, but the first time I saw you, I took you for a hero. Your own body was a mess even then, but you were determined to save the people you loved, no matter what, like any hero would. That's why No, I think that's the best place to stop. The bottom line is, don't worry so much. Everything's gonna be fine. Bad luck cowers before the likes of you. I'm gonna start fine-tuning this system now. You're likely still worn out from fighting Soga, so feel free to rest a bit. I'll call you when it's ready. All right, Shion, stand firm. You're almost there. Just focus a little longer.
Oh, this is really heavy. Oh, why do I have to do this?
Stop whining and get back to work. Well, good morning. Oh, Sakaguchi's harmless, don't worry. I simply had him bring me some medical implements.
This should be all of them. But there are plenty of other people to choose from at the company, you know. Why must I do all the heavy lifting here?
My, such hostility. You realize if this system were to be activated, everyone in town would be in danger, right? And I'd hate to see anything happen to someone who's been so very helpful to me.
I would too. Please, don't get me involved.
Glad to see we're in agreement. We can just call this an act of atonement on your part. Seems only fitting, don't you think? After all, I did recently step down as CEO. Can't imagine why I would have ever done such a thing. Can you?
Fine. You've made your point. I'll help.
That's a good boy. Quietly now, please. Oh, well, actually, I spoke to the head of the family and got my job back as president. Well, naturally, the Kasugai and Daishihan families are majority shareholders, controlling around 60% of the company's stock, which means...
Which means she was able to buy her way back to the top despite my best efforts to drive her out, the little shrew.
You're damned right I was. But Sakaguchi, you really should watch your mouth. Calling your company president a shrew does you no favors.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
So it seems we have some uninvited guests on the way. Those freedom fighters are a clever lot, I must say. Can you move yet? I need just a little more time, so if you could... I'm so sorry. I know you'd rather do anything else than fight your friends. But for what it's worth, Sakaguchi's gonna fight by your side to make things easier.
What? Oh, why me?
I'm busy, that's why. And I'm injured, or have you forgotten? Just buy me some time until everything's ready. They're on Main Street, apparently. Be careful, and go easy on them.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
Okay. Welcome.